So we are starting the stream off with Nuzlocke roasts. If you were unaware that this channel in my Discord exists, I don't know where you've been for 10 days, but it's right there. We are no longer taking submissions. Any submission submitted during the stream, fuck you. You're way too late. Anyway, so yeah, hi, hello. I hope everyone's doing well. Tammy, Strangelove, how are you? Arceus, nameless, of course. Small Mama, hello, and Squaregan, you're ready to get roasted and then reject the results of said roast. It's gonna be great. So I've done my very, very best not to read any of these. And I think I might have skimmed one of them, maybe. But how this is going to work is I'm going to read the Nuzlocke, figure out sort of how viable it's going to be as like a fun challenge, and then tell you that you're stupid. And that's the goal of this YouTube video to be. Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm actually very excited about it. So, our first submission was from Strato with this chest lock. Now, the first issue with this chest lock is that he linked a DeviantArt link. And, yeah. No. So, I pulled it up, and boom. Alright, here's the chest lock. Okay? So let's think about this. The chest lock is a highly specialized role-based rule set created by Zaza0, camera, on the Nuzlocke forums. The chess lock is based on the classic board game of chess. No shit. And forces the player to use strategy much more than a normal Nuzlocke, mirroring the amount of strategy needed to play chess. Alright, if that's the case, that's crazy, first of all. But I doubt it. Let's see. Besides the two classic rules, there is a catch limiting rule that only allows a max of 15 Pokemon to be caught, giving a total of 16 Pokemon, including the starter, as well as a series of rules determining roles for each catch. So I don't generally like this rule that you can only catch a certain amount of Pokemon. That just really limits what you're able to do through the entire game. Like, there's this Nuzlocke called the Hex Lock, I think is what it is, and it's you start with 6 Pokemon that are just random, and you can only complete the Nuzlocke with those 6 Pokemon. I think that's dumb as fuck. It's boring. Like, you might as well just do a randomizer at that point and only randomize your own Pokemon, or like the wild Pokemon. It's just dumb. I don't understand the, this. It takes all of the fun out of the game for me. Like, it's a collectible thing, right? You want to collect the Pokemon, you want to catch them all that stuff. So just limiting that, yeah, sure, does artificially increase your challenge, but it limits the amount of fun that you can have. Throughout the entire run, you may only have 1 king, 1 queen, 2 bishops, 2 knights, 2 rooks, and 8 pawns, so standard chessboard. This means you may only catch 16 Pokemon in the entire run. So skip the first encounters you really don't want. Doesn't mean second chance on the route. You may only have 1 of each piece on your team at any time. Yeah, okay. I mean, with rules like this, you can just not catch the bad Pokemon and then just catch whatever you need if you get lucky with a first encounter. Shit's dumb. Cool. Rolls. Each Pokemon you get must be given a roll before being able to battle, not the instance they're caught. Okay, not the instant they're caught. So, you catch a Pokemon, and then after you can decide a roll before you send it into battle. King. Your starter must be the king. Alright, the king must always be in your party. If the king dies, it's game over. Okay, this just turns Pokemon into the fucking standard JRPG. This was the worst thing about Persona 5. This is the worst thing about classic RPGs. This was also the worst thing about fucking Final Fantasy 13. If the character that you're controlling in 13 dies, the whole party and the whole battle is wiped. And you have to start over from your, I think it's the battle or your most recent save. Only female Pokemon may be the queen. Sexist. Optional, the queen must be in the same egg group as the king. What? Okay. That's it? They just have to be a girl. Cool. Bishop may only have 2 damaging moves at any time. Okay. Knight may not use moves which have a base power greater than 60 before stab. There's a whole Nuzlocke based on this. It's called the Power Lock. It's actually really fucking hard. Rook may not use damaging moves with secondary effects on the enemy. Wow, look, another one of my Nuzlocks that I did for the Nuzlocke Gauntlet. Wow, isn't that crazy? Whoa. They may use non-damaging moves, however. For example, Rook can have Quick Attack because the effect doesn't penalize the enemy, and Stun Spore because it doesn't do damage, but not Ember because it does damage and it has a negative effect on the Pokemon. Okay, so this is different from how I did what I called the Effect Lock, is I could only use moves with secondary effects, which means I could literally only use attacking moves with secondary effects on them. That was actually really hard. It was one of the hardest champion battles I ever did. So this I actually like, but just take this part and make it a whole Nuzlocke. Don't just make it stupid like this. Pawn may not evolve ever. It also can't be a Pokemon that has already evolved upon capture or has no evolution. Wow, look, another Nuzlocke that I did, called the Little Lock, where I can't evolve any of my Pokemon. Wow, how original and fun. If a pawn wins any major battle by itself, it can become a knight, bishop, rook, or queen. The last only applies to female pawns, and only if there is no queen. This sucks. This whole thing is terrible. So, can you exceed the amount of knights, bishops, rooks that you can have? Because you can't exceed the queens. I'm assuming so. In which case, you would just take, probably bishops only, right? Yeah, that's just awful. It's just a couple of extra rule sets that are really just frustrating. So really, how you would go about this entire thing is you would use your starter. You would make sure your starter is safe, but obviously you would pick the best starter depending on which game this is. I would assume the easiest way to do this Nuzlocke is to do it maybe in 3rd gen because Mudkip is broken. Yeah. 3rd gen or... yeah, I would say probably this is a 3rd gen Nuzlocke, just because of this rule right here. You really don't have to contend with any grass types at all whatsoever, apart from the Rival 2 fight, and like one Roselia trainer right before the Rival 2 fight. This rule is fucking stupid. This rule is so awful. It's just really bad. You just wait until you find a really, really good Pokemon to use your queen on, because the queen has one condition: to be female. Nothing happens that's bad if the queen dies at all. Plus the fact you can only catch 15 Pokemon in total. So once you're, say you're a bad Nuzlocker, this is just going to go poorly for you because you can't catch any more. So you catch, I don't know, let's just say you get a little antsy and you catch like all the early game shit and you don't space it out. And then you just lose all of your early game shit and you're left with just like your starter and your queen. You run through the entire game with 2 Pokemon. That's boring as hell. This Nuzlocke sucks. Thank you. Okay, cool. Yeah, that was awful. Thanks, DeviantArt community. Proud of you. Geo. Paint Lock. Alright, this is one I did skim. I'm not gonna lie. You begin the game with 6 Smeargle. Alright, let's read on. You may only use Smeargle. You have as many Smeargle lives as there are routes in the game divided by 2. Okay. Wait. Oh. Ugh. Nuzlocke with lives? Okay. Ugh. Whether or not you choose to count caves and other dungeon-style things is up to the individual Nuzlocker, but I feel that this might give the player too much of an advantage. Then again, it's just Smeargle. True. When a Smeargle dies, it must be replaced by a fresh Smeargle with no moves learned yet, and your lives go down by 1. So what's the point of beginning with 6 Smeargle when they're just going to have lives? Shiny encounter may be caught and kept in the box as a trophy while giving you an extra life. Every Smeargle is named after a visual artist. It doesn't matter when they were alive or what kind of art they make, just an artist. Okay. So I've seen a couple of Smeargle-only stuff, one by our good friend Pokemon Challenges. You know, we love him. Back in the day when he was Babby Challenges. Yeah, Smeargle-only, I don't like that. I mean, it has really cool ways that you can do that, but from the way that this is worded, you're using a single Smeargle, right? Like when it dies. So are you doing 1 Smeargle at a time, or do you have 6 Smeargle in your team all at the same time? You just have like a bunch of extra boxed Smeargles? Because if you use 6 Smeargles at the same time, it's actually kind of interesting. You know, you have a utility Smeargle, you have a Smeargle that, I don't know, is supposed to be fast and fire off specific moves. You just have 6 Smeargle in the team forever. Okay. So, I mean, I think this could be kind of interesting. I like this a lot better than, say, a Smeargle solo run, for example. Just because you can do more with your Smeargle. It's just going to be really, really annoying to pull off. What game in the series do you get Smeargled the fastest? Let's find out. Because, one, it's going to be really annoying to, like, teach it moves if all you have is Smeargle, because if you're allowed other Pokemon with Smeargle, it's a lot easier to get moves on it. Yeah, Smeargle is garbage. 20 in each attack, 45 special defense, 35 defense, 55 HP, and 75 speed. It's a horrible Pokemon. Yeah, it's really bad. Let's go to Gen 8. Not Gen 8. Trade from X and Y. In Black and White, it's a Swarm encounter on Route 5. In Gen 6, it's on Route 7. Which is, like, fairly early. Artisan's Cave in Emerald, Fire Red, or in Emerald. I have no idea where the fuck that is. Altering Cave in Fire Red and Leaf Green. I think that's like the Sevi Island thing. In Diamond and Pearl, you get it on Route 212. Artisan's Cave is Battle Frontier. Yikes. In Heart Gold, you can get it in the Ruins of Alph. So it's looking like Heart Gold and Soul Silver are the way to go. Yeah, because Gen 2, you also get it in Ruins of Alph. So you could do this in, like, the Gen 2. Ruins of Alph post-Surf. Oh. Then probably X and Y, then. This is an X and Y Nuzlocke to get the moves that you really, really want on your other Smeargle. Yeah, this challenge would be really fucking annoying, I think. It's definitely easier than Smeargle only, like using only 1 Smeargle, and if that Smeargle dies, it's over. But you'd also just have to get really lucky depending on what you're trying to get the Smeargle to do. You would just gen the Smeargles in to start? No. What I'm saying is, the sooner you're able to get a Smeargle to sketch the move that you have also sketched, the easier it is to pass specific moves to all of your other Smeargle. That's the point. Instead of relying on RNG. Yeah, okay. I mean, I think overall, it's better than the chess lock. But it's still not great. Still not great. 4 out of 10. 0 out of 10. Okay, Square again. The swap lock. The dumber names, the better. All of these, I hope, have really dumb names. Invented it with a friend, variation of the Wonderlock. You do a Nuzlocke with another person concurrently, or more than one. And for each rat encounter, you have to trade it to your partner or partners in a rotating pattern. If one of the players accidentally/intentionally kills their encounter, it can't be traded. Therefore, that person will not receive their encounter either. That was a fun way to balance the competitive aspect of the side-by-side playthrough with the codependency of the encounters. And you hope to make it to more streams. Well, you're here now. Isn't that nice? Okay. So it's... I don't... Huh. So it's just a normal Nuzlocke. You just trade your encounters between your friends. That's not the worst. I mean, like, it's fun if you want to do something together and you both really like Pokemon. So I don't think that's a bad thing. But say you were to, like, Wonder Trade and then trade it to your friend. I mean, that's alright. I mean, it isn't the worst Nuzlocke ever. It's just, you know, if you're bored and want to do something with a friend, I guess. I don't really have a whole lot to say to this. I mean, it doesn't add much, because likely you're just gonna get more or less the same encounters if you're going through the same routes, you know? It's definitely not any extra challenge. It's just a normal Nuzlocke that you're including with your friend. That's really it. So, like, take a cage lock, which is, like, kind of a versus thing, but take out all of the versus stuff in it. 3 out of 10. Pokemon Legends of the Arena Nuzlocke. You fucking troll. Get the fuck out of here. Okay. An Avelock where Ave participates in real battles, and if he dies, he can't be taken to the hospital. 10 out of 10. Alright, here's the best idea. The Grill Lock. Ave has to dress up as a maid and stream Genshin or Pokemon if he doesn't sell Gamer Grill bathwater, or if he loses... God, you guys are fucking cringe. You guys are so cringy. What the fuck? Alright, Sacrifice Lock. To evolve Pokemon, another Pokemon of the same stage or higher needs to be sacrificed, or 2 of the previous level. To evolve Bulbasaur, you could release a Caterpie. To evolve Ivysaur, you could release a Metapod or 2 Caterpie, based on old Yu-Gi-Oh! Summon mechanics. What is this? Gary was here, Ash is the loser. Great. Okay. So that is heavily restrictive, depending on what game you're playing. I like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Summon mechanic thing. I do like Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, it's really not that bad. But I mean, there's gonna be more situations where, like, you're going to have, I don't know, say a Beedrill, and you catch, like, a Nidoran male, and you want to evolve the Nidoran male. Would you just get rid of the Beedrill to evolve it into Nidoking? I guess that's probably how it works. Let's just say, for funsies, that's how that works. This could be kind of neat. I don't know exactly how many encounters that would really take. Let's see. Let's just say Fire Red Leaf Greens, use it as a base. Let's look at the Fire Red Leaf Green Poke Earth. So, Fire Red Leaf Green Poke Earth. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 25. 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. About 50 encounters. So you'd end up with presumably a pretty alright team. Yeah, I don't think this is that bad. Adds a little bit of an extra challenge. It lets you plan around your team a lot better because you would, in my opinion, sacrifice a lot of your early game stuff to bulk up your power later game. I could see this working in like a more difficult game than like a base Pokemon game. Because I think if you did this in a base Pokemon game, it could probably go really easy depending on what you catch. Because, you know, you might want to sacrifice your Sandslash for, I don't know, Growlithe later, get an Arcanine. I don't know, just something to think about. 6 out of 10. Cool. Platinum could be a good one for this. Yeah, true. Yeah, I feel, yeah, could be fun. Sandslash for Gyarados? True. Yeah, but, I mean, fuck. Gyarados is just easy run. Alright, Gauntlet Lock. Can only add Pokemon to the party in order you caught them. Pokemon in your party cannot be replaced or swapped out for a Pokemon in the PC unless one or more dies. New party members must be added to the party in the order that they were caught. Magmar was the most recent capture. You may not add it to the party until all the other Pokemon in your PC have already been added to the party / perished. This just reminds me of the Hex Lock a little bit. The concept is interesting. But say, like, you're in a position where, you know, you're fighting, let's say you're fighting Chuck, and, you caught a Zubat, but Zubat is the Pokemon that you caught 9th, let's just say, and you haven't lost a Pokemon, but you kind of really need Zubat because everything else is going to mega die to all of the fighting types in that gym. Do you then just sacrifice 4 Mons to get Zubat in your party? Because depending on what the Pokemon were, I might consider it. Yeah. It's okay. I don't, again, really like the concept of being forced to use certain things because the game has forced me to do so. And I have, like, 0 options other than to kill all of my Pokemon to get a little bit further in the game. I think that's a little dumb. 4 out of 10. PTSD Lock. After defeating 30 Pokemon in battle with a Pokemon, they can no longer bear witness to their destruction, so you must box it, and catch a new Pokemon from any route of your choosing. At that point, you might as well just do a no experience, challenge, because this number needs to be higher if this is going to matter at all. Because 30 Pokemon in the grand scheme of things is not a lot. Like, imagine you have to grind stuff. What do? Just go back to Route 1, kill a bunch of Caterpie until you hit 30, and then go catch a higher level Pokemon in, you know, whatever route of your choosing? Yeah, I mean, that's what I would do. You know, go try to catch a fucking Raticate or something. Make it really easy. You would just stock your team up with the strongest Pokemon. Yeah, you could just constantly reset this. Just do a no XP challenge. This is like a 1 out of 10. Not great. Soft Lock. Battle mode is set to switch, but after an opponent Pokemon is KO'd, you roll a die to decide who gets sent out. Pokemon cannot be swapped out any other way. Alright. Switch mode sucks. Under every circumstance, switch mode is awful. In this one, yes, it is awful. This takes the worst part of the wedlock for me, which is being forced to stay in on certain Pokemon through RNG elements, And if you didn't lead the right Pokemon, or in this case, you get unlucky with a dice roll, your Pokemon just dies and you can't do anything. This is dumb as shit. There's no counterplay to this whatsoever. It doesn't make it interesting. It makes it really frustrating, in my opinion. I would fucking hate doing this Nuzlocke. 2 out of 10. Also, cheeky. Thought up a new one. Nuzlocke.
It gets cringe, don't hurt me too much.
Okay, I won't, buddy. Alright. Really, thank you for the bits. What a name. Intended for use with harder realms like Kaizo or Radical Red. Unnuzlockable, by the way. But can be used with any for a more creative, fun playthrough. For each gym leader / boss fight, you must assemble a new team of 6 Pokemon. And judging the difficulty / limitation of encounters, you may allow extra captures to... I've never heard this word before. What? Ameliorate? Ameliorate. To make something better. Okay. You're just trying to be smart here. Cool. You may allow extra captures to make something better, okay? To make it better. Or easier, presumably. Okay. Oh, it's a French word? Nice. If you lose any single Pokemon in the fight, you have to lose / throw and release / kill that Pokemon before the next attempt. Once you win the battle, you have to release / kill all the Pokemon from your winning team. What? I don't know. I don't get this part. What do you mean? So if I lose one Pokemon, I just lose the fight? Basically, you can't use them anymore. Well, they're dead, so I couldn't use them anyway? This just seems unnecessary to me. Huh? Or I'm just missing some part of the rules here. You can just redo with a different team? Oh, so you can't use, like, that specific Pokemon anymore. Okay. So I actually did a Nuzlocke like this. I called it the Reroute Lock. And it was really fucking hard and filled with grinding. So how that went was I beat a gym fight with, you know, whatever Pokemon that I get. And I have to rebuild my team with only Pokemon from the next route. So I would win Brock's gym fight. I would go catch a Pokemon in the route with all the trainers and whatever right before Mount Moon, and then I would release all of the Pokemon that I used in the Brock fight. And so I had to constantly just reset my team. I think that's a lot more interesting than this. But it's sort of the same thing. Reroute Lock just has way more team building, in my opinion, than this. I mean, that doesn't seem fun or, like, interesting at all. So, 2 out of 10. I just want to add a run to this channel to say I did. So here's something I thought up in about 20 seconds. The Hero Lock. I hope the next thing that I read is you must name your starter Link. Wherever you enter a trainer battle, a single one of your Pokemon is chosen as the hero. The hero is only allowed to use directly damaging attacks. Status, setup, debuff, etc. are off limits. Alongside the hero, the rest of your party are not allowed to use any directly offensive attacks. These Pokemon can use any move the hero is banned from using, though, such as debuffing, status, and healing. Whenever the hero dies in battle, you have 2 options. If you lose the battle afterward, the run is over. If you win the battle, the run continues. But you must release all of the Pokemon that made up that battle team and create a new team. Obviously, if your hero dies without any mons left in the box, that's also a loss. Okay, so you're required to have something with, like, burn or poison on your team that isn't the hero Pokemon. I don't like this, because I don't know. If you're going off of, like, standard Nuzlocke rules, say you encounter a Sandshrew. What the fuck is a Sandshrew gonna do if it isn't the hero? Fucking nothing. It can defense curl and die. That's it. Those are the only things that Sandshrew can do. Sandshrew isn't poisoning shit until you get the Toxic TM. So that doesn't really work. You're gonna have one attacking Pokemon, and then 5 Pokemon with Protect and Toxic. Not great. Not good, because sleep is not good in this scenario. Paralysis is just a death wish if you paralyze something that your hero Pokemon will just die to. You won't be able to hit it. You know, you could maybe make a case for, you know, hail, sandstorm, that kind of thing, but I don't like it. 2 out of 10. Wedlock. Yeah, fuck the Wedlock. Wedlock is the worst challenge that I've ever done in my entire goddamn life. It is the worst. I don't understand why anyone can find that fun or interesting. But if you go into a trainer fight and your 2 normal type pair is the one you send out because you don't know what fucking Pokemon that they are running, you just die if they counter you, which is exactly what happened to me in my Wedlock. I lost 4 Pokemon in one fight because I wasn't looking things up. And my pairs were what they were because RNG, there was just nothing that I could do about it. And it was the worst. It was awful. Fuck the Wedlock. It's not fun. 0 out of 10. Boomerlock. Only Gen 1 Pokemon are allowed to be used. Shut the fuck up. Cool, I too can Nuzlocke red, green, blue, and yellow, and fire red and leaf green. Yay! What a fun Nuzlocke idea. Contest lock, 0 out of 10. All of your moves can only be of one contest type. See, that's actually kind of interesting. That requires some legit planning, which is kind of neat. Let's take a look at Emerald really quick. Should be this, right? Boom. All right, let's take a look. Yeah, okay. Emerald. Is there a contest section? There should be, right? Maybe not. No. Okay, we'll do not Emerald then. Ruby Sapphire. Okay. Do we have contest anywhere? Pokemon contest. Here we go. Okay. Haha. So let's say we want smart moves. So then we are given all of these. Can you read these? Perfect. Okay. So, ooh, Calm Mind. Okay, that's pretty cool. We get Charge, which is pretty alright. Absorb Acid, which is pretty terrible. We get Confuse Ray. Dig, which is a good all-around move. Feint Attack, which is neat. Okay, you get Fly. Giga Drain, good. So, I mean, Smart's obviously good for, like, the grass Pokemon, or maybe even Ghosts. Like, Sableye would be pretty good with this. We get Leech Seed. Yeah, so say you get a Jump Bluff or something, this is perfect. Like, Mega Drain, Mirror Move, Nightshade, Poison Fang, Poison Powder, Rock Tomb, that's good. You get Reflect, Psychic. Honestly, doesn't seem like the worst thing ever. Let's look at Tough. Tough would be broken, I think. Yeah, Bite, Body Slam, Comet Punch if you're unlucky enough to get Ladybug in your Nuzlocke. Crab Hammer, which is awful in Gen 3. Crunch, really good move. You get EQ, Double Edge, Focus Punch. I don't know if Substitute is there. Let's see. Is it? No Substitute, but yeah, okay. So we can just write Focus Punch off. Headbutt, Karate Chop, Iron Defense, Magnitude. Yeah. Honestly, that seems interesting. 7 out of 10. Good job, Plasto. Proud of you. Gym lock. You're only allowed to use Pokemon that are the same type as the upcoming gym leader. There's no Pokemon that match the type at that point in the game. Use Pokemon weak to the gym. It's not bad. This is a Nuzlocke for if you really, really hate yourself. But I think it would be more fun if you only used Pokemon weak to the gym. Yeah? Is that masochistic of me? It probably is. But yeah, seems fine. Like, Erica would be really easy. Brock in Gen 1, for example. I actually don't think would be possible. No, it would be possible, 100%. Yeah, because then you use Pokemon weak to the gym, so you just take fucking Charmander as your starter and play through the game normally. Exploitable is what this is. 5 out of 10. Boomerlock, only Season 1 Pokemon anime Pokemon. There's 2 Boomerlocks. You guys are terrible. Anime Lock, only small, cute humanoids. The Gotharita only solo run. 0 out of 10. Just play Moemon. There's a little IPA patch that turns all of the Pokemon into cute anime girls. Just play Moemon. 2 out of 10. Yeah, that was fun. How fun was that, guys? Yay, fun little quick thing that I can turn into a video at some point. Thank you for joining me and submitting your Nuzlocks. They were terrible. Except for, like, the contest log was cool. This is dumb. This is dumb. Most of them were dumb. Let's just say most of them were dumb. Now, I did go on the Nuzlocke subreddit. I've seen a lot of people do this thing called the Genlock. And I want to... Yeah, the Generation Lock is, I think, what it is. No, that's not it. No, there's a Genlock. Let's see if I can find it really quick. I should have pulled this up beforehand, but I kind of want to talk about it. A Genlock is a Nuzlocke challenge where you play through one game of each region in an order of your choosing. At the end of each game, you breed your surviving champion team and trade the eggs to the next game. When making the jump between generations, the team will need to be transported up to a completed version of a game from that generation, then to breed eggs. Or if this is impossible for any number of reasons, using cheats to get Pokemon in the same next game is also allowed, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so it's just like... I see a lot of people doing this, and it just seems really boring. Like, playing through the game with the same Pokemon. That's not why I personally play Nuzlocke. I play Nuzlocke because I want to use things that I otherwise wouldn't, because I'm forced to use them, because that's what RNG gave me. In this case, like, what's stopping me from, obviously, hoarding the best Pokemon at the end and in my box, struggling through all of it, and then just getting broken Pokemon and pseudo-legendaries, and just running through the rest of all of the generations of, you know, however many Pokemon games that you're doing with those really broken Pokemon. I don't think there's anything stopping you from doing that. Imagine, like, Metagross, Tyranitar, let's throw a Charizard in there because I'm 12, fucking Lucario, Raichu, and something else, you know? Just go nuts. This is, yeah, it is just a worse version of the Gauntlet. And I see a lot of people doing them, which is interesting. I did see one person on the Nuzlocke subreddit, which I skimmed before this stream, doing a regular Nuzlocke of all of the games. More power to them. I checked out their Twitch channel, and they have 0 videos or highlights. So I'm like, interesting. Very weird. But, you know, more power to them. I don't think anyone should ever do that. Cool. And then there was one more that I wanted to touch on. The Tribe Lock. A A unique challenge. Instead of having one encounter per route, you capture an entire tribe based on 6-sided dice rolls. You capture whatever number is rolled. That is counted as a tribe. Tribes can't be split up, and when in battle, you can only switch to other members of said tribe. It's just a wedlock with dumber rules. 0 out of 10. And then one of the worst named ones I think I've ever seen, the Apocalypse. Challenge that forces you to choose between only a few types of Pokemon. Roll a 4-sided die that gives you your disaster, and your typings allowed. These disasters and their typings are: roll a 1, you get a Tsunami. Okay, you can only use normal, flying, water, grass, and dragon. Ooh, okay. Let's... Normal, flying, water, grass, and dragon. Well, honestly, water, grass, dragon is pretty good synergy overall. Because, you know, your water types are going to be tanking the ice type hits. I mean, normal types, you have really good moves. Dragon types, you have really good TM moves. Flying is a great type overall, honestly. You encounter generally a lot of bug types and a lot of grass types, early game especially. And having water types in general, just any bulky water, anything, is great. So, like, this is a great roll. This is a really good group of types to have in your type lock kind of thing. Heat Wave, normal, fire, rock, electric, and ground. Oh god, you'd be so fucked with this shit. You have, like, no resistances to anything here. You resist fire. You resist rock. You resist grass. Or no, grass... No, you don't resist grass. Like, nothing. This one, you'd be fucked. Like, you just have to, like, really hope that your rock type is a Probopass to have partially steel type. So, yeah. This would be hard as fuck. But it does give you access to, like, Graveler, which is one of the best Nuzlocke Pokemon ever. And say you do this in, like, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, or Gen 2 in general. You catch an early game Geodude in whatever the... Is it Dark Cave? I think it's Dark Cave. You just steam through the entirety of early game. Okay. Blizzard, Normal, Ice, Dark, Fighting, and Steel. This is good just because you have a Steel type. Yeah, and you have really nice offensive typings with Ice, Dark, and Fighting. I think this would be really cool. There'd be a lot of Steel-type pivots here, which is one of my favorite things to do as a very defensive Nuzlocke player. Yeah, I think you'd have to get pretty lucky with your encounters. Like, early game Meditite is pretty common in most games. Dark types, you don't... Dark and Ice types you don't generally get until much later. But there's normal types, obviously, everywhere. And Steel types, I mean, as we've seen with Pineco and Fortress, pretty fucking broken. So I think this would be pretty good. I think easily this one's the easiest. Are you allowed dual types, though? I'm not sure. I would hope so, because there aren't very many pure Steel types. There's, like, Registeel, Arceus... can you think of any other pure Steel types? The Clink line. Alright, Nuclear. Normal, Poison, Bug, Psychic, and Ghost. Also a very offensive sort of thing. Now, early game, this would be really good because... Beedrill is kind of busted early game. You dunk on fighting types here. Like, you destroy fighting types. Yeah, it's great. But other than fighting types, and I guess other ghost types, you'd be a little bit fucked here. But you do have normal types, so it's fine. The fact that you get normal types in all of these is really good. Just because normal types are just bottom line, great. They have really good TM sets. You can find normal types pretty much anywhere. Like Raticate's broken. You can make Furt work really early. That would include presumably all of the early game birds as well. So, I mean, you can even make things like Unpheasant work. Braviary, all that kind of stuff. So you have a lot of options because normal's included in all of these. In addition to limitations on typings, each encounter forces you to roll a d6, and each number gives you restrictions on that Pokemon. Okay, hello Nuzlocke. The rules and restrictions are, roll a 1, lone survivors cannot be switched out during battle. Ah, it's like an affliction lock. I see. Roll 2, sorry, okay. If you get a couple, you may catch 2 Pokemon on that route. You must treat them as a wedlock pair. Fuck the wedlock again. Fearful survivors won't let you use items on them. Okay. Roll 4. Lucky survivors have no restrictions, but can only be one of the allowed types. So rolling 4 is probably your pure type. So like pure psychic, pure bug, pure poison. I would assume that's what this means. Okay. Though you could probably loophole this one a little bit. True survivors have no restrictions and can be any type. Oh. Honestly, take this one out. That kind of kills the whole challenge for me. Yeah, you would roll before the encounter. So, just like the dice luck, you roll to see what happens, and then you figure out what Pokemon you're going to get. Deceased survivors can only have 3 moves. 1 move slot must never be changed, and the move never used. That's just kind of boring and annoying. I don't like the things in Pokemon that I have to keep track of, which is why doing the Affliction Lock in the Gauntlet was so annoying all the time. Like, we had to build a bot so I wasn't annoyed. So the fact that, like, do I roll a dice to figure out whatever move? Yeah, I think this challenge would be way cooler if 5 and 6 weren't a thing. Like, this is just annoying. What if I accidentally do this? Does the Pokemon just instantly die? Probably not. And then, like, this ruins all of the entire point of the challenge. So, like, take all of this, and it's actually kind of neat. 6 out of 10. Cool. Anything else? Ah, yes, Generations Lock. You must offer the offspring, blah, 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 brand new Nuzlocke. If you Charizard Nidoking, you must breed them Charmander Nidoran, then migrate them to the next game, blah, 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 and then monotypes. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why this is so popular. It's just maybe for people that get really attached to their Pokemon. I've done 30 plus Nuzlocks. It's not me anymore, man. It's not me anymore. Well, cool. I hope you guys enjoyed the Nuzlocke roasts. That was really fun. I'm going to, I guess, delete this channel now. Cool. Yeah, thanks for watching the stream. I'm gonna go bye now. No, I'm actually not. Alright, time to play video game. Yay! Oh my gosh, Pokemon Legends of the Arena. How fun.